Building without an audience. This is the plight of the modern day artists. So let's just say one day you wake up, you're like, yes, I want to be an artist. I want to be a painter, a sculptor, a costume designer, a videographer, illustrator, etc. You ask yourself, how am I going to get my art in front of people? Obviously, the internet. I'm going to create content. All of a sudden, you're also in the art of being a content creator. That's what we have to do, right? I mean, we don't have to. There's other ways to get our art in front of eyes. But this one, if you're like me, you're trying to leverage the internet so that you can stay home with your kids. You're trying to be a full-time parent, working part-time, making a full-time income. You don't want to be lugging your things to every local pop-up shop because we all know, one, pop-up shops aren't always that beginner friendly. Some of them can be very expensive. The internet's free. Two, it's hard to lug all of our artwork around everywhere we're going. And three, you probably just like being in the comfort of your own home like I do. So you decide to start your YouTube channel or your TikTok or your Instagram or one of the many other ways that we can put our work in front of an audience. And at first it's really exciting. You're thinking of ideas, maybe you're even a little nervous. It's like a weird mix of like I'm excited to get this started, but I'm also really nervous and probably talking very awkward to the camera because people make this look easy. It's not super weird and awkward talking to a camera, but it is for a lot of us, especially if you're an introvert. But then we realize that sometimes growth can be slow. We are living in a world of instant gratification, and there's all these people creating content saying, oh, this is how you blow up, this is how you go viral, this is how I built a following of 7,000 people in 1 month. And you're wondering, where's my audience? Why can't I do that? What's wrong with me? And you start doubting yourself. You put your time and your heart and your soul into a video, you spend hours creating a piece of artwork, and then also on the sidelines also creating content about that artwork, and you post it and it's like 10 views. Or maybe it's a lot of views but no new followers, no new engagement. You're trying to build this community and you're like, where are the people? This thing isn't popping off as easily as you wanted or as quickly as you wanted. And a month is really not that long, but for whatever reason, when you start this journey of creating content, it feels like a long time. It feels like you've been doing it forever. And I think part of that is the growth and the learning curve and everything takes a long time. So it's just a lot of work at the beginning. So you get to the point where you're really feeling kind of silly for continuing to post content. The only person watching is your best friend and your mom, and you're like, do I even keep going? Is this journey even worth it? So let's make a small tweak, a small mindset shift. You don't know when your work's going to land, but you can control how you show up. You can control the effort and the time that you contribute to building your dream, and that is what we need to focus on. Focus on what we control and what we can't. Letting go and detaching from the outcome of each video. The important mindset shift that I needed to make as a creator and an artist was I do need to be online consistently, but what I do not need is to be online constantly. So, building strategies where we can create content and put things out in a scheduled and consistent way without constantly checking, did it work? Did I blow up? Did that go viral? Did this work? Especially if you're at the beginning of your journey, we're just focusing on trying to build that consistency and kind of throwing stuff at the wall and saying, what do we like? What do we not like? What can we see ourselves creating in 10 years from now versus and how we want to see our work evolve versus things we are not continuing to create. What we really need to be doing is build through action. A lot of the frustration and worry and mind game of creating content online is detaching, like I said, detaching from the results and just taking action. what are action steps that you can take today? Because I feel like when we are in a mode of action, we get out of our thinking mind and our overthinking and our dwelling and our strategizing. Sometimes the best thing we can do is get into the body and actually create and actually take that action. Let go of the thinking mind, get into the body. That's the best thing about taking action. When we take action, when we try and we put in our reps and we put in our time and we create video after video after video, painting after painting after painting, whatever we're creating, the more we do it, the better we get. When I'm working with little kids, which I've done for the past 12 years of my life, the kids that grow the most in a school setting or just in general are not the kids that are gifted or talented or geniuses by any means. Obviously, kids that are gifted are going to be scoring higher, but I'm talking about growth. The kids that come into school with no experience, they can't write their name, they can't do anything, they don't know any letter sounds, and they have the most growth are not special. They are just the ones that try every single day of the school year. They're the ones that, even though it looks bad, even though it looks messy, even though it doesn't look how they want it to yet, they just keep practicing. And by the end of a year, at the end of 180 school days, they will have the most growth. So why should it be any different for me? So this is our mindset shift of getting out of constantly analyzing all of the videos that aren't doing well and all the videos that aren't going, and just taking that action and taking that messy action to experience more growth and become 1% better with every video or with every painting or whatever our craft is. This is why I show up even when there is no audience, even when the audience isn't there yet. Growth happens in the dark. It happens in the cocoon or the chrysalis. We don't, it's not always really obvious to the outside world until we pop off. But the work we do before we pop off is just as important as the work we do when we're in those beginning stages and just starting to grow our roots, because those roots are the foundation for our entire business. Uh, through making almost 100 videos, even though my channel is still small, my confidence has grown. My ability to speak has grown. My ability to create artwork has grown. This quiet, consistent effort will eventually lead to a tipping point. We just don't know when that tipping point is, which is kind of annoying, but you have to just let it go. Trust me. I mean, I don't know. I guess I haven't gotten to that point, so maybe you don't have to trust me. But in my mind, I feel like that is what I need to do. That way, when we get to this tipping point, we're ready. We have developed the skills, we have developed the craft. There is no overnight successes. A lot of the successes, it's just that we see them after they've reached that tipping point. They've probably done years of work, years of self development, or I guess maybe they're just really naturally confident. I don't know. I wasn't naturally confident. I shouldn't say that, but I had to grow my confidence. I had to grow my tough skin. I had to grow my skills. So now, when that tipping point happens, I'll be ready. Here are some questions that I ask myself to stay grounded in the process. Question 1, am I getting 1% better with each rep? Whether that rep is creating a painting, sketching, creating a video, creating a script, etc. Am I getting at least 1% better every time I create? 2, am I being consistent? Am I consistently showing up for myself in a way that feels good for me? And obviously, sometimes in a way that feels good for me is taking that day off to rest. Am I being consistent and honoring my energy? 3, am I leaving room for play and curiosity? I feel like play and curiosity are super important when you're in a creative field and pursuing a creative lifestyle and a creative profession. Which leads me to question 4. Am I tapping in for inspiration, or am I trying to recreate content, pictures, paintings that have done well in the past? Creating from a place of authenticity, that is where the magic is. If you're in the thick of it, you're not alone, and this part of your journey, this part of the process is just as important as your tipping point. You have to be ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. If this message resonated with you, definitely subscribe. I'm doing this journey in real time right now, and I'd love to invite you guys along on the ride. Also, feel free to check out the rest of the videos in this series. I will link the playlist where you can find all of the inspiring content in the description box below. With that being said, thank you for joining me. My name is Jessica Darling. I will see you guys in the next video.